Good morning. It's Aloha Friday. Of course, we got off to a nice early start at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's 6:12 at the moment. We're starting up our second movement of the day. But 6:05 I think is when the sun rises. So this would normally be a really nice drive if we were driving towards the sunrise. But we're going to be driving away from the sunrise. Still, it's my favorite part of the day. Yeah, our first run we went into Waikiki and picked up a load of dunnage from the big box store and took that back to our terminal. Sat around for almost an hour and then came down here to the big box here at Ala Shopping Center, where we picked up a full load of dunnage and we're going to take it to the big box located in Salt Lake, which is the off-site warehouse for the Ala store. So yeah, these big boxes have history, you know, if you're kind of an archaeologist, you would say the Waikiki store was originally built in what used to be the International Marketplace, which was like a big, huge swap meet. And then it became, I want to say Neiman Marcus. I think they were the first ones to develop a kind of a big box store inside the International Marketplace. And now the current big box that we work with is in that location. So it has its challenges because it's very confined. You know, it doesn't have hardly any docks. The two docks that are there are kind of shoved in there and not real well designed. It creates a lot of challenges for the store. Same with this store. This store that we just pulled out of is was also a Neiman Marcus. It's part of the Ala Shopping Center. Again, only has two docks. But the store does great business because it's attached to the mall and presents its own set of challenges, but it doesn't have any warehouse space. Now the Salt Lake store, another great store, was originally a Costco, so it was built as a warehouse, and they've added like the big box into the warehouse, which used to be Costco. So from here in Ala down to Salt Lake, it's about a 20-minute drive. We tried to film this once before, but ended up hitting an accident. Changed the plan. I'll let the pedestrian go first. People still buy Hard Rock Cafe t-shirts? Is the Hard Rock Cafe even still a thing? So yeah, you can kind of see the glow of the sun coming up. Looks like we got kind of a hazy day. After all that rain yesterday, I thought the air would be clear, but maybe it's too early to tell. So we're going to make our way up to the interstate here. runs from the coast up to the freeway. Takes you right into the heart of Makiki, which is where I lived for almost 10 years when I first moved to Hawaii. This area right in front of us here, it surrounds the Punch Bowl crater. On the left will turn left, and the 2 lanes on the right go straight, and the one in the middle you have a choice. But when you're hauling a 45-foot container, this is, if you're going to make a left turn, this is the one you want to be in, because the other two you'd get stuck. There's not enough space for the back tires. So now we can get on the interstate and head up over Red Hill to the Halava area, get off and make our way into the Salt Lake area where our big box store is located. Get to join some of the rush hour traffic. But we'll be kind of heading out of town as opposed to, well, you'll see this first part when we get on. For one exit, you're basically heading into town, and then after that, you're heading out of town. The downtown area is just ahead of us here. But the traffic is very light today because getting ready for the big Easter holiday weekend. This traffic is like half what it normally is. And I know I don't want to be in this lane because this is the merge and exit lane. The second I can get over, I'll get over one lane. It's less stressful driving. Poly Highway, that marks downtown Honolulu. Of course, you wouldn't want to get off at that exit to go to downtown because it only goes towards the mountains. This little piece of interstate has been kind of like MacGyvered together over the years. It's not a really good interstate in the sense that sometimes you have an exit but you don't have an on-ramp. Sometimes you have an on-ramp but you don't have an exit. Going into downtown, this is the exit you would take, School Street, and then backtrack a little bit. And it moves fast because, like I said, as of now, we're leaving the downtown area, so the traffic gets lighter and lighter as you make your way out past the airport. Up, the better the day looks. The haze is disappearing. Funny thing happened, the truck all of a sudden, I guess the more you drive the truck, the more things wake up. But the Jake brakes on this truck finally started working. They weren't working before. Be all right. Parts, that's the one I go to normally. It's the one I have the most coupons for, is the O'Reilly's here. But there's an AutoZone right next door to them. And then if I feel like getting good parts, I go to the Napa, which is even closer to my house. Well, usually the best deals I have found is with O'Reilly's, even though their quality probably isn't quite as good as the Napa stuff. But it's definitely more affordable. And I'm not real hard on my cars. I usually just maintain them. I don't try to beat on them. At least not anymore. I guess when I was younger, you tried to break things so you have something to do, something to fix, you know. Now I don't want to be bothered. So, Aloha Stadium parking lot's off here to the right of us. This used to be a Kmart back in the day. Now it's just, I think the only thing in there is Starbucks, the auto parts. I'm not sure what the rest of it's being used for now. The Kmart parking lot has become a laydown yard for some type of construction company. Somebody told me that Bette Midler was a bit of an Army brat or a Navy brat. And when she was a kid, she grew up here in Hawaii, and this is elementary school or high school that she went to. Radford High School. So I've been told. I haven't really verified it, but a lot of the information I get is from tour bus drivers, and sometimes tour bus drivers just make stuff up. So you always got to go double check it. So we want to make a right, but if there's a car coming out from the right, we have to swing wide. No car yet. Go fast. Because we have to take 3 lanes in order to make this turn without going up on the curb. So back in the day when this was a Costco, there was a single level parking lot. And that's why Costco left, because there wasn't enough parking available for the amount of business they were doing. So then the big box came in and they put on a second level of parking. That problem. You can drive in forward and turn around inside there, but with the 45s it's easier if you back in. Sometimes the landing gears grind. So now the waiting begins. We have to wait for the transfer truck to finish loading. That truck basically runs between here and where we just came from, taking the freight that's needed. And we're bringing the stuff that's not needed. Nice. Air conditioning. Roll down the window. And then we'll let them know that we've arrived. Hey Susan, this is Max. We just arrived with the Alamana transfer.
Okay, Max, I'll be up in a few minutes.
Okie doke. Bye. Alright. Now we wait. GoPro's at 28%. That's kind of how I feel. That's it. 6:37. Shutting it down. Another 12+ hour day. Came in at 3. We'll be out of here by 4:45. We did 11 container movements. We drove 101 miles. Headed home for Easter weekend. Off tomorrow. Then we're working on Easter. Just in the morning, 6 to 11. Got to get those LTLs off the ship and on the dock. But yeah, should be a real easy day. Hopefully everything's off the ship and we can just knock it out. But we're gonna head on home, cook up some food. Need to make a new salad. I make these big toss salads and then we just pick at it for a few days until it rots away. So we're gonna make a salad. Got rice, still got chicken, got pasta, got beans. I don't know, I feel because it's Easter I should cook some fish. So we'll probably cook up a couple salmon fillets and add all those leftovers in the salad to it. And that'll be dinner. I'm not even that hungry now. But hopefully that'll change. That is it for today though. Thanks for watching. Aloha.